What up, y'all? We're here for our weekend reflection message using the Radiant Sun Oracle and the... I can't remember which one this one's called. It is the Dreamer's Way Tarot. I love this one. All right, so from the Radiant Sun Oracle, we've got acquisition, which is the sun in Taurus, followed by Mars in Capricorn, authority, followed by Venus in Aquarius, which is detachment. Underneath acquisition, which is the sun in Taurus, we have the Empress, which is big ups, Taurus, Venus vibes, right? Underneath the authority card, which is Mars in Capricorn, is Page of Wands reverse. And underneath the Venus in Aquarius, which is detachment, is the Devil card. All right, there are a lot of layered meanings to the reading today. There's kind of like, we'll just talk about it all as it comes out. I'm going to pause and let you guys listen to the audio, and that will give you the most streamlined channeling I got earlier. And then we're going to really build on that and go deeper. And I've got like 2 streams of thought coming through. So 2 minutes of audio, and then we'll be right back. It is vital that we hold steadfast to the consciousness this week that God is our sole provider and protector, the source of all that we have, all that we achieve. Every breath is given by none other than God. Standing on this truth plants your foundation and security firmly on the rock. Life will send storms. We have weathered through many trials and tribulations. The deeper we lean into this understanding, and the tighter we cling to that faith in God and God alone, then the more secure we will be. We have beautiful treasures and light within us waiting to be revealed, and we are in the seed level of planting new chapters. Capricorn season is one of those 3 times of year where we collectively experience a dark night of the soul. We are challenged in all the ways we are uniquely and collectively triggered. Every time we rise to our next level, the opponent is there to meet us. The opponent might be showing up in a destructive energy that is attempting to domineer you or take your light in some way. The key is to not react to your egoic reflex response. Pause. Detach from the narrative and immediately connect to God in prayer for support, protection, and guidance. Declare God's goodness for maximum strength protection. Speak these prayers out loud. When you can, pray with 1 or more people who are truly unified and wanting your highest good. The stronger the connection you make with the Creator, the more at peace and protected you will feel, and the faster miracles can flow and solutions will come to you. Okay, so the first is a spiritual lesson that's tied into maybe an outward trial or challenge that is going on right now. So we have the sun in Taurus paired with the acquisition card paired with the Empress. And when I'm looking at this reading, the Empress is sort of facing away from the other characters, but you guys might be seeing it in a mirrored image where it's reversed. So the Empress is got her back turned to the drama of the rest of the spread. And you can look at that in the picture that you just saw in the audio. And above her, it's like this couple seems to be trying, like they have acquisition on the mind. And so I saw this in two different ways. For start, I'm going to go with the outward challenge where we're in the hero's journey and this is our gauntlet moment. This is what the illusion or the opponent is, say, bringing into this leg of the simulation of the challenge. And it's presenting us with this illusion of a threat or a problem. And this, it's like something is trying to prevent something from being fruitful, or you feel like all that you've worked for is threatened, or like your security or your sense of security or what you have previously attached to as your perception of your security is being shaken right now. And so that is the material sort of trick that the opponent is using right now to shake your sense of peace and your sense of well-being and your sense of security. Now, so underneath we have, underneath the rest of the reading, we have the Page of Wands, which is reversed. So the Page of Wands can be a younger person. In an upright position, they're an enthusiastic person that maybe wants to help you in a situation, but in a reversed position, this is a person, maybe a young person or a young energy or an immature energy that's causing you disturbance, that's disturbing you, that's an aggravated energy. This could be like someone like that's being spoiled or immature being vindictive, or it could be like your own immaturity in a certain area of your life is causing you to like self-sabotage in certain areas. And so in a way, it might feel like something that is unfair or that is beneath you, or that is just like you thought you'd grown past, like stuff like this happening or getting caught up in some like problem like this. It's like plaguing you, right? But the thing is that you have a Page of Wands reversed here up against an Empress energy. So the thing that gives the Empress her Empress status, this is not a queen, this is an Empress, is that she has her feet planted firmly on the ground, and she has married her inner with her outer, meaning that her internal spirit guides her outer actions. So whilst yes, the ego is feeling threatened right now, we have built enough awareness and consciousness and maturity to say, I know that if I hold my consciousness firm and I keep my energy stable, that I am more better off than feeling panicked and reactive and then taking an action in that reactivity. So I am standing back and separating myself from what I know that I can expect the ego is going to come with its tricks, because the devil's going to be pulling the strings right now. Because we're at a seed level of a new beginning, we've up-leveled into a next level. You can rest assured that it won't be long before the opponent comes rearing its ugly head, new level, new devil, right? And it's like we're like in this life is like, it's like going through Mario Brothers 1, like the original Mario for Nintendo. It's like you go through these little levels and you're just constantly inundated with little challenges and bad guys and things that you have to like get through in order to get to the next level. And then when you get to that level, it just immediately starts again. It's like it doesn't let up. So right now there might be an initial challenge, because where are we the most potent and powerful is at the seed level, right? And so there's this spark of creator light that is pure and it is at its most potent. And of course the opponent wants to come in and grab that light, right? It's at its strongest. So we have to protect that light. And so the way that we do that is we say, okay, yes, outer circumstances are strained, but no one on earth doesn't feel that right now, unless you're in a very elite group of people. You are in good company, and God is going to take care of us, and you are going to be okay. And so the only true source of sustenance or protection that we really have, look at all of us. We're so vulnerable. We're right? I mean, we're vulnerable in so many ways. And so God is our protector. God is our keeper. King David knew that. And King David wrote the Psalms declaring that every day, because King David was a great leader in many ways, but he was also always up against a huge challenge and always facing, the threat of an oppressor, right? But he was always carried through by the Creator and by his connection to the Creator. And the stronger our connection is to the Creator, the more protected we are. And so how do we strengthen that connection? By, first of all, being in a state of inner peace and inner rest. Not reactive, not getting caught up in the soap opera, no matter how real it is. We have to maintain our inner peace, because the Holy Spirit can only be with us and work with us and hover over us if we are in a state of peace and well-being and wholeness. So we have to sustain that inner peace. And how do we do that when we're triggered and in a panic? How do we do that? We pause, we get our mind and our energy into something else, something productive, something that is all powerful and all positive. Speaking out loud to the Creator in prayer. Immediately get go get somewhere where you can start praying. And if you can say your prayers out loud, that's even more powerful. We've talked about the power of our mouth and our power of our voice and our power of our ability to speak is like bearing affinity with the Creator in that way above any other living kingdom. So using the power of words, speak out loud your prayer to the Creator. Invite God in to intervene, to work through the situation, to reveal light in the situation. Declare God's goodness. When you declare God's goodness, it's like David revealed that wisdom, that it provides and shields you with even more power and protection. So just knowing that the outer source is not your source. That is just a vessel for the ultimate source. The ultimate source behind everything is God. Behind every breath, behind every opportunity, behind everything, the God's there. It's ultimately in control, right? But we have free will, so we have to invite God in to move on our behalf, right? To assist us, to guide us. So we shift our consciousness onto something empowering and something that will give us relief and peace. Saying out loud our prayer to the Creator, calling on the Creator, getting our focus on something else, something positive. Start declaring the goodness, start declaring that things are okay. And if you can join with another person in prayer, that is even more powerful, right? Where two or more are gathered, nothing is impossible in my name, or whatever, however the verse goes. So you want to pray with someone who definitely is in unity with you, that has no ill will or hidden motive against you, no evil eye. Like you need someone that's really like has a heart that wants good for you, for your highest good. So where two or more are gathered and then they're unified, they're almost unstoppable. So in order to get out of the panic, in order to get out of, any kind of threatening like situation that's getting you in a state of reactivity and affect consciousness, don't react from that place in that moment. Go shift your energy through at least 20, 30 minutes, an hour of prayer will open the gates of miracles right then. So the Empress is secure. Nothing that she has is threatened, because she knows that ultimately God is her creator, God is the source, God is the protector, God is the provider of sustenance. So that's the key here. All right. And so then no matter what, it's like this energetic influence, this disturbing influence is trying to like hold some kind of like authority over your situation or you, right? Whether that is a subconscious pattern that keeps playing out in your life, it's like ruling the way that you show up as a spiritual sovereign, and the way that you make choices and the way that you lead yourself through your life. So, or someone is trying to assert like that authority over you, or feel like they have authority over you, and it's coming from like a manipulative place. right? But the key here is to know that this person or this influence or this thing is a pendulum. And so what a pendulum is, this is a term that I heard from a reader who I consider to be very accurate when I watch his videos for me. But he described it one time as, people walk through life and sometimes they're in ownership of their consciousness and sometimes they're not. And so when people are not consciously awakened or in ownership of their energy and their consciousness, like these dark forces can get in and use them as puppets to mess with you, to try to prevent you from aligning with your purpose, your higher destiny. Like they're the things that cause you trouble and chaos and, try to steal light from you through the day, right? It's the opposing force. It's just like, how does the opposing force work? Well, just like the forces of light and goodness and helpful angels can use people and places and things and influences as vessels, so too can the dark forces. So when the dark forces are getting in the way and using people as like these meat puppets or toothless boobs or vicious enemies, whatever it may be, they are pendulums. And so you can just look at that situation, and that immediately takes some of the feeling of taking it personally out of the way, because you're like, oh, this person may or may not even be conscious, but they're being used by a dark energy to work against me. And so I'm seeing this for what it is, and I'm not going to let it affect me as much. Instead, I'm seeing the game, and the illusion is showing itself to me. I'm seeing behind the curtain. And so that also takes power out of the illusion, and you take more control back, right? So by emotionally detaching from the storyline, like get yourself off the stage, out of the story and into the audience. Watch all of it playing out and then look at it from that perspective. If life is a game and life is a simulation and life is trying to challenge me to rise above these situations, how am I being called to detach and then take proactive action in order to protect my light and channel this light and continue on my mission, right? The opponent is just trying to delay your mission. Now, pausing that storyline and going back and reading this from a different perspective or from another perspective, we have the sun in Taurus. The sun in Taurus is the aspect of ourself that, and this card comes up for us a lot. It says that the person's personality is like really good at seeing what's going to be well received and what's popular or what's needed, and coming up with an idea and then putting that out into the world in a fruitful, productive, many times profitable way. So there's some good business sense here where you have seen a need in the market, or you've seen the need in something, and then you follow that idea and you've taken your spiritual insight and guidance. You've taken that creative vision and you've put it into your action and into physical fruition. And now, because of the fruits of your labor, you're going to have a lot of abundance. Right? The Empress is so pregnant with potential because she has married the masculine and feminine aspects of herself. The internal world has been nurtured into bringing outer expression, right? She's listened to her instincts. She's listened to her intuition. She's listened to her creative vision. She listened to her gut instinct that this would be well received. She took savvy, pragmatic action consistently, and now she's giving birth to abundance and blessing and good things, right? So, again, this is as a result of taking spiritual authority and conscious authority and authority over our energy, over our life, right? Mars and Capricorn. So Mars is a really good manifester, and so is Capricorn. They're both cardinal energies, but Mars is the first, Aries is the first cardinal energy. It's the birth, it's the baby, it's the immature energy, right? And sometimes Mars can be excited and really have a lot of energy and a lot of passion to get into something, but they can also be impulsive, make mistakes, or not have enough follow through, or be immature, or not have like true discipline or consistency or perseverance. Their immaturity can get in the way and undermine their efforts, right? So Saturn, Capricorn, is wise. It's cardinal energy too. It's great at starting things and it's great at manifesting things, but it's been through the whole zodiac and gained discipline and perseverance and endurance and strength and character and consistency. And so this is the grounded aspect of that fiery energy. So when we embrace the maturity of discipline and the value of discipline, consistency, continuing to show up for ourselves, boundaries, respecting ourselves, respecting our time, then that helps us overcome the immature parts of ourselves that leave us feeling frustrated or that undermine our efforts or that sabotage the self from actually making true progress or being truly successful or truly finally like tipping the wheel into the next level here. Now, the thing is, we have a real shot at this coming into material reality and having a long-term staying effect. The positive side of the Devil card is that it represents Capricorn, Saturn, and it represents something that comes into long-term establishment or long-term materialization. It's not always a negative card, although sometimes it is. Sometimes it represents negativity and addiction and attachment and lies and illusions and the ego and the trickster and the opponent. But sometimes it represents something that has material staying power, and it represents the positive aspects of Capricorn, right? Material discipline and effort and pragmatic action steps. So we have the detachment card here, and part of us has to let go of our emotional, we have to stoke the part of our emotional connection to these desires that keeps us going, that keeps us yearning and striving and excited. But we have to exercise emotional mastery over those feelings as well, because they are the ones that can make us feel ennui and dissatisfied and make us feel the lack in such a way that can get to where it can water down our magnetism, because we feel a lack, and that creates scarcity. And then we are in like this affected consciousness. And so then we can start making, poor decisions, and then the opponent can get into that emotional like leak or emotional vulnerability and use that against us. Whereas if we're like, okay, I'm emotionally detached, I'm coming at this as a professional, whether I feel like it or not. This is the routine I'm sticking to. I'm putting the effort into this, whether I see results or not. I'm sticking with it. I'm giving it, this amount of time. I'm not going to get caught up on outer results or outer expectations, right? We can detach from how we think everything should work out or show up or play out, right? Detach from expectation of the specific result and just give it our all-out effort, right? And the more detached we are, the less worked up, the less impatient we're going to be. We're just going to be showing up for the sake of showing up, for the sake of the desire of doing it. And that is going to loosen up the flow of everything for more probability of success, rather than if we are totally attached to the outcome, we're neurotically like waiting every second for it to be a success and then viewing every second that it's not a success as like a failure. It's just like the fact that you're giving it and you're giving yourself to it and you're doing the thing, that's already a success. So detach from the outcome, keep continuing to show up, show the discipline, show the consistency, continue to persevere. And the more that we respect ourselves, the more that we show up and keep those promises to ourselves and honor the boundaries we set for ourselves, then the more that life is going to reflect that back to us too. The more value life is going to offer us, because the more value that we're projecting from ourselves. And so the more others are going to honor and respect our boundaries and try to strive to live up to the bar that we've set, right? So it's all about what we're omitting at any given time. that what we radiate, that what we're vibrating, that's what we're going to attract, and that's what we're going to experience. So I think that there's probably a feeling of pressure and challenge right now, because also what I meant to say at the beginning was that according to Kabbalah, there's 3 times of year where we collectively go through like a dark night of the soul. Capricorn is one of those times of year. Leo season is one of those times of year, and Cancer is one of those times of year. So if you remember, I can't remember what the Capricorn season is called in Kabbalah, but the Omer is like the counting of the Omer, I believe, straddles the Cancer season, and that is the difficult weeks that are after Passover. And then there is the season of Leo in the middle of the summer, which really challenges us and takes us through a dark night of the soul that prepares us and gets us ready for the month of Teshuvah, which is the preparation for Rosh Hashanah. So all year long, we're doing the work, aren't we? It never really ends. But that's why the feasting times and the festivals, when we can connect to the light, that's why they're all that much more better. That's why Hanukkah is so much fun, because there's not a lot of heavy work involved. It's just connecting to the light. And also Purim, which is maybe February or March, is also a 100% positive connect to the light party, like it's 1999 kind of day. So I mean, I would like to celebrate Purim this year. I've never have, but all right, cool. Well, that is all for tonight. Y'all download the 2026 prediction series for an invaluable tool and workshop for the year ahead. It will give you a yearly overview of predictions with channeled messages from me. There will be quarterly readings for each season, and there is monthly readings for each season. And then in addition to the readings themselves, which are already an amazing tool, in the description box below each video, there are groupings of journal prompts and questions that will help you workshop the information, take the wisdom deeper, embody the material. So that way you are fortified and prepared and ready to go for the year ahead. And you can also use it as an amazing tool to keep yourself grounded, to have some ritual work that's ongoing through the year to keep you on the trajectory that you set out for in the beginning. So this is like part predictions, kind of part goal setting, but also staying on track with the spiritual work through the year as well, which will help you reveal the miracles in your material life that you're hoping for as well. So that is at the link at the description box below. At my stand store, it is $12, 12 bones. And yeah, let me know what you think of it. I can't wait for y'all to get in there and take the workshop. Ciao.